Hello, 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 and good evening to everybody who's joining me today. Now, I can't see all the comments. I'll let you know first of all. So if I don't respond, please do not think I'm being rude. I just can't see you. However, I will be drawn to people directly when Richard will be showing me the names coming up on the screen. So first of all, I want to say a big thank you to the VIPs for inviting me back again. It's always good to feel wanted, and especially for Richard, who allowed me to come back, even with me. I'm gonna even got me my P's and Q's. Right. And you guys, I have a flea in my ear, which is always wonderful with Richard. So if I start bursting into yes, I just struggled to a flea. If I burst into hysterical laughter, that's why, because Richard is in my ear. I feel like Aunt Deck, I do. Right. Oh, of course you're better looking. Of course you're better looking, Richard. So I'm just waiting for some names to come up. And as I say, hi, everybody who's joining us. I can't necessarily see all the names. And if you're saying hello to me, I'm going to say a vast hello, good evening, and welcome. So I've got Adele McDonald's. Hello, good evening to you, Adele. Karen King, everyone, love and light. Do you know what? Love and light. We need loads of it in the world today. Wonderful. Oh, June, very friendly. My very good friend June Malkin. Good evening to you, Wendy. Wendy, yeah, that's me. Oh, hello, Millie B. How lovely to see you here this evening. Kerry Sketchell, how are you this evening? Lovely to see you here too. Ali J. Hey, I love that little face. Hello. And hello, James Finale. Lovely to see you this evening. Thank you for coming on and joining us. Amanda with the star. Hello, Amanda with the star. Christine Davis. Good evening to you, Christine. Lovely to see you this evening. Marissa. Ooh, Serafano. Marissa, lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Terry Hall. Wall. Terry Wall. Lovely to see you here too. Tina Shelton, good evening, and good evening, Tina. Lovely to see you this evening. Oh, Australia, Pamela. Thank you for coming on and joining us this wonderful light spring evening too. But it's warm where you are. Sarah Burston, again, thank you for coming along this evening. Good evening to you too. Natalie Bentley, hello. Thank you for joining us. Alison Barton, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Thank you again for joining us. Chrissy Wheatley, how are you? With all those hearts, I'm feeling the love, Chrissy. I'm feeling the love. That's absolutely lovely. Be fab to be picked. Do you know what? I wish I could pick everybody, but my guides will take me where we need to go, Mill. But it's wonderful for you to be here. Love your dog this evening with us. Mark Green, shared to your page, Wendy. He's one of my mods. Mark, absolutely gifted, clairvoyant and psychic himself. So lovely to see you in the house this evening, Mark. I think if I told him that, he'd have a heart attack. Just said to Janet, come in a joint show with you, Mark. I could think of some others that I'd love to come in. I must say, I've done in my circles. Nadia Apita. Hello, Nadia. How are you? Oh, Belgium. They're probably thinking I'm psychic because I said that because it wasn't actually on the feed. Keith Abbott, hello. We're fabulous, I do believe, and I hope you're as fabulous as we're feeling today. S. Pradham, hello, S. Pradham. How are you? I love the rose. We need more roses of that lovely smelling scent in this world. Okay, and Avril Hill, lovely to see you. Right, now let's get going. Oh, Karen Lloyd, first time watching you. I hope it's going to be a pleasure. If it's not, I'm somebody else, just in case. Right, okay, so let's get started, shall we? Now, before I do any readings at all, my guides always ask me to start with a poem, and it's a poem I've written, and they guide me to the poem that they want me to read. Now, I'd love to say that I am reading it within my mind, and I'm letting it flow. Unfortunately, I'm not that clever. So I'm just going to put my notes up. So I won't be able to see any of your comments at this moment in time. But no, they are all valued. Right. The poem I'm going to be reading tonight is called Kindness. And I think we can all do with a bit of that. It only takes one act of kindness to change a person's life. They may be in great despair through dealing with emotional strife. A kind word, a warm embrace can bring out the biggest of smile. It can make someone feel so valued. It can make their life feel so worthwhile. Doing things for other people, it's not about what you get in return. Kindness is about giving unconditionally. It is not about what you can earn. Kindness does not have a type, a race, a creed, or colour. It's about treating people equally, sisters and brothers from another mother. By carrying out a random act of kindness, it can cause the butterfly effect that the person on the receiving end of your compassion will pass on to another kindness and respect. Remember, there is no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a rippling with no logical end. Love and kindness are never wasted. They always make a difference a broken heart can mend. There is no greater wisdom than kindness. It can accomplish what you cannot do by force. Sometimes kindness becomes its own motivational gift. We are made kind as being kind we endorse. Unexpected kindness is the most powerful thing of all, the least costly, but the most underrated. A thing so simple to give and so rewarding. It is the most amazing thing ever created. Individually, we cannot help everyone, but everyone can help someone somewhere. Kindness starts with the understanding that we all struggle. It shows that by being kind, we actually do care. Wherever there is a living thing, there is an opportunity to be kind. Kindness is a passport to soften the heart and mold relationships for a lifetime. Gratitude is the inner feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural feeling to express. That one moment of an action so small can bring an enormous amount of happiness. The sun can warm hearts and melt glaciers with its rays. Kindness is the sunshine in which virtue grows. It causes misunderstandings, mistrust, and hostility to fade. Kindness is the act that allows people to know that they are loved, they are cherished, they are valued, they are worthy, they are very special too. But most importantly, they have a place in this world, which was hope from kindness given by you. Mark Twain once said, kindness is the only language where the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Kindness can help to heal everyone. And most importantly, it is free. It makes you the most beautiful person in the world. With facial beauty, one scratch and it's gone. But when you do acts of kindness, then the beauty within your soul lives on. So I hope you like that. It always makes me emotional with that poem, but that's what my guides wanted me to read out today, because kindness is definitely needed in this world, especially, you know, with the trials and tribulations in life that everybody faces. It's always lovely to do a little bit of kindness for people. So without further ado, we will move on. Now, the way I work, I see, hear, feel, sense, smell, got a sense of knowing. I go directly to the person concerned. Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful word. Thank you, Millie B. That's really lovely of you to say. And if it helps one person today, just for an act of kindness, that's all we need. Job done and I'll be off. That's lovely, Wendy. Thanks, June, for that. Absolutely beautiful and so true, Amanda. Brilliant. Actually, Amanda, I'm coming with you first. So, Amanda, put Amanda star, so I knew I knew who I was going to. So I'm coming to you first. So as you're just adjusting and coming in. So I see, hear, feel, sense, smell, got a sense of knowing. It's not what you want, it's what you need. You get people coming in who you don't necessarily remember. It might be before your time, but you may be going through something that they have been through, that they are giving their words of wisdom to you. I tend to give a description of the person, the connection of the person, and how they died if they're not too proud. I also like to give a bit of validation, but for me, the message is the most important thing, and my messages can be deep. So if you're not into deep messages, I'll pop off now. And I also like to give a gift if they're feeling generous. And I end with months. And these months are relevant to situations that have happened within your life for them to let you know that they are there. Okay. So that's where we're going with that this evening and how I work. And if it's not right, I will go back and ask again. I hear them like I'm speaking now, and I see them just as clear. So Amanda, I'm being taken to you by a lady, and as I'm looking at her, I want to go on a grandmother energy on your mother's side. She's showing me quite slim in build. She's showing me a very hardy lady. She was some of these people that were got up from dawn till dusk. She was always on the go, always helping others is the word she's showing me. Her hair was quite wavy and in how she wasn't short, especially in her younger years. She said, but that's not how I was when sorry, in her older years. That's another thing. I talk very fast, so I trip over my words a lot, so please excuse that. And especially if they've got dodgy teeth, yeah, I will trip over them especially. So in her older years she had short hair, but in her youth she had long flowing hair. She was somebody, I mean, she's actually showing me darker color hair. We've actually got a black and white picture of her. She's leaning back on the side. She looks like she's wearing trousers and a top. She's literally positioned with her head to the left hand side, and it looks like her hair's pulled back in a chignon. She's got a little bit of a fringe going on, and it's going down her back. And she's outside with regards to this picture as well. And she was a force to be reckoned with. She loved life. She loved to live life unconditionally. As she went through her older years and she started slowing down, she didn't like that because, as I say, she was very hardy. She would be here, there, and everywhere, up from dawn till dusk, doing everything for all and sundry around her, especially with her family unit. What I'm feeling, she's telling me that in her 60s, late 60s, she started to feel a bit iffy. And she wasn't that kind of person that would moan or whinge or say what was going on for her. She would literally just be quiet with regards to her general ill health. And she's starting to make me feel quite sick with how she was. She's telling me there was a lot of things that was going on, and they were all aggravated by what was going on with her body, because I've started to see her become quite slim. I actually feel she'd become a shadow of herself, especially in figure, even though she still seemed quite hardy and tremendous in her strength. She's actually showing me this beautiful smile, which would have been her painted smile. She didn't want people to know how much she was suffering. With regards to her personality, she would be very supportive, very loving, very kind, very giving, but she was nobody's fool. Now, would you understand this lady, Amanda, that I'm given? Because I'm being taken to your mother's side. If it's the wrong side, it just shows their sense of humour. But I'm going to a grandmother energy on that side. Would you understand, please? Right. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Right. I've just got a validation from Richard, because the comments isn't showing up, that it is her grandmother. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yes, that's true about my grandmother, and she died of cancer. So that's hence why she became a shadow of her former self. She comes through with such amazing energy. I want to say she's making me sit up straight. She's making me feel like I'm important, because I feel that's what she would have done. She would have done active listening when she was talking to you. And she was also this kind of energy. She would nod her head slightly when you were speaking. She was also a smile. She had a slight smile as she turned her head gently to the side, and she wouldn't shout. She's not a shouter. She would somebody who would lower her voice and speak with words of wisdom. And I actually feel the wisdom she would give was always spot on. She's also telling me she was very insightful, very insightful. I mean, I'm actually feeling my third eye flicker a lot, which tells me that she was spiritual, but she didn't advertise it. She says, "Oh my goodness, you'll be carted off in the white van and the straight jacket if I even showed remotely what I was all about? And she's laughing as she says that. So tremendous energy with this lady. And I'm asking her to tell me a little bit about you. And she's telling me you're very, very sensitive. Even as a child, you used to see spirit. You lost it a bit about the age of 5 to 6, and you sort of went on your life's way. But you were, even though you were sensitive, you were forced to be reckoned with. You were nobody's fool. You wouldn't be dictated to. You wouldn't be on the receiving end of someone's wrath. You were somebody who was very balanced, but also funny. I never knew her. Brilliant, fabulous. Doesn't matter because she's looking over you. With what she's saying to me. So she's telling me you were very balanced. From 5 to 10, you found your voice. 1 to 5, you were more sensitive and didn't necessarily speak. When you went into your teenage years, you become a little bit rebellious, but you were somebody who didn't necessarily fit in at times and would stand on the outside. Because you were sensitive, you're also very empathic. So you would pick up on the energies around you. And you choose your friends wisely, she's telling me. You chose your friends wisely because of this empathic side to you. Now, she's taken me into your 20s. And what she's saying to me, you become so well balanced as you progressed in your life that you would be kind and caring for others, but you knew who to help and who not to. Tremendous insight. Now, she's telling me that around this time, your spirituality started to develop even more. If you can keep giving the feedback for me, Amanda, that would be wonderful. She's telling me your spirituality started picking up even more, and you sensed and you felt things, but you always questioned it. You second guessed it. You weren't 100% sure if it was actually spirit. But then she's telling me an apparition came to you when you were 28, 29. And I want to say you've woken up and you've seen something and felt something beside your bed, because she's telling me it was her. Yes, I'm sensitive. Fabulous. And it was kind of like awakening to say, go on your spiritual journey. And she's telling me that you are embarking on that, but that you're full of doubt sometimes with regards to your capabilities and what you're able to do. And she's telling me, never doubt what you're capable of doing. You always avoided trouble. You always avoided the wrong people because of this empathic and sense of knowing within you. And you have split starts. She's telling me you go forward, then you step back. You go forward, and then you step back. And this is more to do with the confidence of believing within. So I want to give you a big old boost of confidence and self-esteem with regards to this. She's also telling me that you also got an epiphany. You're actually drawn to animals, and you can be very much an animal healer. And I feel as if what she's given to me, when you're around animals or touching animals, your hands start to burn. You have your personality spot on. Thank you very much. Do you mean your personality? Yeah, you have your. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, she's telling me that you've got this burning hands when you touch animals and tingling sensation. So what I would say to you, you need to carry on developing this gift and allow it to flow. And who knows, you could be on here with your animals under your arms. Because not only are you spiritually aware, have mediumistic abilities, your aura is actually glowing, vibrant. I actually feel you attract a lot of people to you because of this. You've also got a very smiling face, is what she's showing to me. You've got a very approachable face. What she's also telling me, with this love and healing and compassion you also have this abundance of healing. And that is what's showing with the hands. So I think I lost myself a little bit there because she was speaking so fast. So I just needed to recap a bit to make sure that I've picked up everything that she wanted to say. Yep, everything she wanted to say. But your biggest problem is you. I love animals. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Amanda. She's showing me you at 7 years old. You are dressed and what looks like, well, you're a bit of a ragamuffin, she's telling me. It looks like a skirt and it looks like a red coloured top, but you had a bird in your hands. And you had picked up, I'm seeing baby little chicks and that have fallen out of the nest, and you're picking them up, and the warmth and love you gave them actually gave them a little bit of a boost. So she's showing me a memory of you in your childhood, and she's telling me there's little things like that all through your life that shows your capability, understanding, and the healing qualities you have. What she's also telling me, Amanda, one of the blockages and self-doubt that has come from you is where you've picked up on negative energies as you've gone along your pathway. and where people haven't necessarily been as kind as they can be. Now, I mentioned earlier that you tend to avoid people like that, and you do. She's telling me, however, some people along the way has crossed your pathway, and you've absorbed that negative. And this is where this self-doubt has been magnified. And she's telling me this is in your early 20s, before you had that kickstart with your spirituality. So I want to put positive affirmations around your mirror. I want you to listen to confidence and self-esteem. I want you to stand tall and proud of who you are. I want you to get rid of any negativity that you're holding on to. And I want you to carry on shining like the beacon of light you are. She's also telling me you help a lot of people, but choose those people wisely, as I mentioned earlier, that you have that insight to be able to do that. Oh, well, that's so true with the chicks. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Amanda, for validating that. She keeps showing me a dog as well with you. And what I mean, I had a dog when I done a demo yesterday where I was feeling this dog, and I could tell her that he had a sickness within his stomach, and there was a sore throat going on here from the sickness. She's telling me you have this ability and you get this tingling sensation, especially around dogs. Amanda, tune into that. Look at it. It's giving you direction to tell you what is wrong with that animal, that fur baby. So tune in and develop in a circle, develop that gift. You will absolutely surprise yourself. I can see an x-ray of an animal and know what's wrong with it. I feel that you have that ability too, Amanda. So please don't dilly-dally. Oh my God, that's a saying I haven't heard in a while. She's saying, don't dilly-dally, Amanda. Don't dilly-dally. Let's get on it. Get back in that circle, developing your gift, trust and believe, especially looking to healing, especially looking to healing with animals too. I'm just asking for anything else she wants to say. I lost all my confidence. Well, let's put it this way. Your husband will be looking after you and over you. Your nan is the one who's come in because she was that spiritual being. And what I actually feel, the connection that you had with your husband, when you met him, she's telling me, you were instantly attracted to each other, and it was love at first sight. He was very charming and witty and funny. He had his moments where he would draw into himself, but that didn't stop you loving him unconditionally. And it certainly wasn't negative on his behalf. He just used to like to put the world to rights with regards to how he was. I actually feel you're twin flames, and I do believe that he is one of your spirit guides because he stepped forward with your grandmother. He's just said, I was a handsome devil, wasn't I? Well, there you go. So that shows exactly his humour as he's come in. So, Amanda, even though you can't see your husband, know he's beside you, the more you develop in your circle, believe me, you're going to be feeling he's right there, and he's going to say to you, and you wish you didn't, and he's laughing his head off at that. So I want to say to Amanda, please, please, please start developing. Have faith in you, build your confidence up where it needs to be. Know that you've got your grandmother and your husband working beside you on your spiritual quest. And believe me, you will have a sense of he's given me a sense of worth with regards to this, because you will feel as if you're doing something, because at the moment he's showing me the pathway of being lost, and you will be back on that pathway with him and your nan by your side. I hope that all makes sense to you. I want to give you a gift of a sunflower. And the sunflower's got yellow leaves, it's got loads of seeds. Those seeds are new beginnings, new ideas, start making things happen, but most of all, put a smile on your face. I want to say March, April, May. I want to go July. I want to go August, September, October, November. I want to go to December and January. Birthday celebrations, anniversaries, and passings. And thank you so much for working with me. I had a timeline, guys. I was told 1 minute remaining. So hence why I was speaking fast there. Amanda, that's his humour. Fabulous. Thank you so much for all the validation you've given. And brilliant. Thank you so much for working with you. Okay. Now, I bet I'm going to better talk a bit faster, hadn't I? Right. Okay. Let's see where I'm drawn to now. I want to say Chrissy Weather. I was writing Chrissy Weather. Weather. Chrissy Weatherton. Weatherton. Chrissy Weather. Crissy. Spelled Crissy. CRI. She was on it. Oh, well, there you go. That was close. Chrissy Wheatley. Oh, right. I would love a message if you were drawn to me. Well, I didn't see that. And I always say, fill the page with hearts. And when we fill the page with hearts, never ask for reading, because what it does is sends out love in the world. And boy, our world needs it right now. But so I didn't see that, Chrissy. But there we go. Let's have a look. Chrissy, Chrissy, Chrissy. So where are we going with you? Again, I'm being taken over to the mother's side, the mother's side. I've got a lady. I'm just asking. I don't think this is mother. I've been looking at grandmother again. No, let's have a look. Right, I'm going to give a description. I'm being told it's on the mother's side and it's a relative on your mother's side with regards to this lady. She's actually beaming with she's got quite a round face, and it looks like either like blonde hair, but she is showing me from a bottle. She's got a laughy face on her, and it looks as if her hair is either pulled back or put in a bun or something like that. It's actually drawn up in layers. She would have been very voluptuous with her figure, because I feel I'm spreading out, and believe me, she doesn't have to spread out a lot. So she was very voluptuous and very jovial and happy character. She looks, as I'm looking with her, about, I would say, late 40s, early 50s, she's showing herself, but I do not feel that that's when she passed. She's actually taken me up to late 60s when she passed. And what I'm actually feeling, my legs feel quite swollen with regards to her. I feel very heavy. I feel there would have been problems with her mobility towards the end, but I can still hear her laughing. So she would have had this jolly, happy character, jolly, happy character. She's taken me to the late 60s. And as we've gone into, are we actually reaching into the 70s? No, she stopped me before the 70s. So she didn't actually get that far. And what she's saying to me, I was quite bloated towards the end. I'm not seeing her skinny. Again, I do feel there was a multitude of things going on there. She's actually taken me down to my abdomen area with regards to this. And I do feel there was complications, is what she's saying, around what was going on for her. I'm asking her again the connection, because she's not very clear on this. Am I mother? No, grandmother. Grandmother? No, she's not telling me grandmother. It's an aunt vibration on your mother's side, I feel. And I'm just asking her why she isn't being very clear. She's she said, I didn't realise I wasn't, well, because you're not saying. Okay. My nan, she died in 1965. Do you know what? I have to say this, right? I asked her if she was nan, and she went, no. And she was laughing when she said this. Now, I said to you at the start, if I've gone the wrong direction, this shows their sense of humour. So I do feel she had a wicked sense of humour, and she wanted to see me squirm. Oh, they do that. Believe me, if they had a sense of humour when they're on the earth plane, they definitely will in death. So let's have a look. And I'm so glad that you could recognize this beautiful lady, because she's just laughing away. She's happy and light. And what she's saying, that when she did pass, there was a lot of people, of course, with any passing, that were absolutely devastated. But I actually feel her vibration and how she was lifted the room. I feel she was greatly missed because of her love, her compassion, her sense of humour. Even when she was feeling below par, she didn't let it get down. She always liked to be out with a one-liner. She just loved to be this happy-go-lucky person. And even now she's coming through, and the vibration is, her laugh is infectious. And what she's saying to me, even though when I passed how many broken hearts were left, she said, I was in so much peace because I was no longer in pain. So I feel there was a lot of pain that was going on for her, especially, as I say, this bloatedness within the abdomen area. And she's saying, when I did go, I don't feel she was alone. I'm seeing people standing around her. And it was like this hand was taken, and it took, she took her hand out to take, she said it was the most beautiful transition I could have asked for, especially how much I was suffering with regards to the pain. Now, I've asked her why she's come through, and asked her about, tell me a little bit about you, Chrissy. And she's telling me you're a doer. That's what she said. You're a doer, which is always fabulous. A lot of people doers in the world, but I want a little bit more. She said, ever since you were born, ever since you come from the cradle to the table, you were always doing something. You always had your head in something. You were always up to mischief. You were doing this, you were doing that. You always kept busy. It was like you had ants in your pants. Even now, as you've got older, you never stop. You're here, there, and everywhere. You always put everybody else first. You've got this helping, caring nature. Now, I'm struggling with my words here, and I feel this is telling me that your nan had problem with the words before the end. Can you keep giving me the comments, please, Chrissy, so I know that you can understand what I'm saying? So she's sort of stopping me and hesitating. One, because I haven't got any kind of response, and I know you didn't know your nan, but whether you've heard her talk about or heard things within the family. Um, yeah, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm going to give you all everything I've said to you, hold on to, because another medium could tell you that and you'll go, yes, 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 yes. Anyway, so she's telling me you're a doer here, there, and everywhere. You're always busy. Even now, to the detriment of you and your general well-being, you were busy helping all and sundry. Would you understand this, please, Chrissy? Because she's telling me sometimes it's like you need to catch your breath. You need to catch your breath. You need to slow down. You need to look after you. Now, as I'm saying this and what she's feeling to me, it's like this overwhelming feeling of fatigue I have with you, Chrissy. Overwhelming feeling of fatigue. She's actually telling me that I'm a mother hen and busy bee. I never stop. Brilliant. But what she's telling me, even when you go to bed, and she's actually shown me your legs going 10 to the dozen. So even in bed, you move, you twitch, you go all over the place with regards to how you are. Now, you're saying a mother hen. Yeah, I can see there's children there, with 3 children there. It's not just within the family unit. It's also telling me outside the family unit, you are somebody that's got a shoulder to lean on. You're always there for other people. Would you understand this? You give your love, your affection, you give words of wisdom. You don't expect anything in return. In response, if you're feeling on a down day, you never have time for a down day. She's telling me your glass is always half full, never half empty. You look at life in positivity. I am tired. Yeah, well, there you go. Right. So all this she's saying to me is you need to take a breath and be sport, especially tomorrow. We know it's Mother's Day tomorrow, in case those people out there forgot Mother's Day. She's telling me you need to make sure they wait on you. All right, they're old enough to do it. Also, you need to know when to say to the people that come along and want to offload their load on you, they're outside the family unit. Here's the name of a good counsellor. They're going to help you far more than I can. Also, learn to say no. Love to help you out in this instance, but I can't, but I wish you well. Because no's not in your remit. Relaxing is not in your remit. Taking time out for you is not in your remit. And I actually want to lock your bathroom door, get you in the bath with candles and a glass of wine just to chill. I don't think you are a drinker, but that's what she's saying to me, Chrissy. She said, I watch on in despair. Yes, rely on you. Now is a time for turn the tables, because they're what she was saying to me, and I didn't say the comment fully. She said they're old enough and ugly enough to help you and do things for you. And she said, what you've done, you've made a rod for your own back. You need to start saying to them, mother needs some love. All right. When would you do that? The jury's out. She's telling me hopefully you will, because right now you're not firing on all cylinders. You need to take time out, relax and rest. You know, allow them to come in and take responsibility for looking after their mother. I'm going to ask her, is there anything else that I can relay from her? She is giving me the feeling of the weight of the world on my shoulders. So I do feel she's given me the last month or so, things weigh sometimes heavily on your chest. And she said, just offload them in a journal, write your thoughts down, because I'm feeling quite weighted here. That's not necessarily about you going here, there and everywhere, but it is about you not absorbing everything that other people say to you. All right. My family and friends rely on me and turn to me all the time. Well, then that's why you need to say no, or the feedback sandwich. All right. All the time you're open, they will come. When you say, actually, enough's enough, they will respect that and they would take on time. Because the last thing you want to do is be burnt out, and you will if you don't do something about it. So listen to your grandmother. You might not have met her, but she's certainly around you. And she's telling you to put your feet up and take a rest. She's given me a lovely open rose that's been deformed, which is always fabulous. And she's telling you, she's also given me a bottle of wine to give you and a bath. All right, not because you smell, but because you need that time for you. And she's also given me the months of, we've got March and April and May. We're going to June and July. She's gone to September, October. We want to go to November, December. I'm going the broad spectrum, and over to January, birthday celebrations, anniversaries, and passings. And I want to say thank you so much for working with me. Thank you so much, and for your validation of what she's saying also. Thank you. Right, okay, let's see where we're going next. Oh, I had, where'd it gone? Where'd it gone? Where'd it? Da, 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 da. No, I can't read my writing. That's always good. Go on then, put some names up for me, and then I'll see. I can't read my writing. Oh, I should have been a doctor. Let's see where we're going. Let's see where we're going. Oops, my earpiece. It's out. Oh, evening, Sarah. Lovely to see you in the house. Oh, God, you just coughed. Okay, that's my eardrums burst, but we'll just carry on. Right, I want to go to Crystal and Mick. Crystal and Mick. Right, okay, Crystal, let's see who's coming in here. Do you know what? It seems to be all the mother energies coming in and grandmother energies. Yeah, exactly. I was just about going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth, Richard. He just said it's Mother's Day. Indeed it is. Right, Crystal, I'm looking at a lady who's come in, and she's showing me with darker hair. She's showing about 5'4", 5'5" at a push. I want to say she was more a muffin top of how she was, and I want to give her medium build. And good legs. She's telling me she had good legs in her youth. Loved a little bit of a rock and roll and dance. She just said easy on the rock and roll. She's laughing. Lovely legs is all I can say with regard to this lady. But she started spreading out in her years. She's, as I say, she's given me darker colour hair, but she's shown me flecks of grey as it's got as older. And I would say about the neckline was where she's sitting at. She's also making me feel busty. Now, when I feel busty, and believe me, I need all the help I can get, it always makes me feel this overwhelming feeling of love. Like when you were hugged by her, you knew you were hugged. You know, that type when grandmother's hugs that you can't breathe. I'm just checking this is grandmother. I'm saying grandmother, yeah. And what she would have done, again, she's smiling lovely at me. So I actually feel she would have been someone who was very kind and caring. But I always check, because there's always a multitude of sins when you get somebody who's looking at that happy, smiley thing. It's not through those till they go through those pearly gates. They look at themselves and think, oh my goodness, I could have been a lot kinder, a lot better. To which she's just replied, yes. So that's why I always think there was something, sometimes a little bit more. She said I could be very judgmental. She said I could be very direct in how I would speak. We used to go to the for the jugular. She's saying I didn't necessarily have a lot of marshmallow kind of terminologies that I could use. She said I must admit that was one of my flaws, because I was just there as it is, and it was how my mother and my mother before me was also like that. Would you understand this, please, Crystal? If you can pop up a comment as quick as you can, then I know we're on the right subject here. And I'm just asking her about when she passed, and she's taking me 50s, 60s. Are we going to your 70s? I'm not going to my 70s with regards to her. She's also given me a lot of lower lumbar pain, a lot of lower lumbar. And as I'm looking at her, when she was showing me she had nice legs when she was younger, I'm starting to actually feel that out down at the lower part. So I feel where she started off as a muffin top, she started to spread on the lower part of her body. She's also given me the sensation that she had difficulty walking. I also, I'm just having a look at her. She's taken me down to my right knee as well, which is feeling very tender. So she would have walked offline, say a little bit of a wobble when she would walk. And she's telling me she's also had arthritis. I also feel there was a problem with her hands, or arthritis within her hands, because I'm feeling very painful with this kind of thing that's going on for me. She's giving me tremendous pain. So I wonder if you can just validate anything I'm saying, Crystal, because otherwise she's going to make sure I keep heaven safe. She hasn't answered. She's been asking for reading, and then she's gone. So Crystal, 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 are you in the house, please? Are you in the house? Have you been kicked off? And this is going so according to plan, as it does. Are you there? Testing, testing, Crystal, are you there? Chances are, if you're not there, then you've listed everything I've said. Right, not see her at all, Richard? Oh, right. I'm going to have to leave Crystal there then, because if I haven't got a validation and she's not listening, I can't continue because I don't know if she's. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to. Crystal can watch over this. I'm going to give her a message and everything else. All right. So let's have a look. The reason why she's come in is Crystal is. She's telling me there's been a situation over the last couple of months that's actually left her feeling very, I want to say tired and fatigued again, but I feel as if she's been feeling downhearted, and she's coming to give her a lift of happiness and say, sometimes in life, things, what will be, will be. And where you are a fusser and you will help all and sundry, some people just don't want to listen. They have to go through their own way in life to find out with their trials and tribulations. Even when you give so much advice and love and support, they don't necessarily take it, and they don't take it because of their own stubbornness. But what's happening where they're not listening to you, you're holding it within. And what I would say to you, Crystal, this is your life, this is your tango. If people aren't going to listen in life, that's entirely up to them. You send them love and light and let them go on their way. Right now, you need to look after you. You need to give yourself self-love. You need to not worry about others. I know it's very easy to say that, but when we worry about other people, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do the dishes. It doesn't hang the wallpaper. It doesn't fill us with warmth. So stop worrying about all and sundry. Just look after you. So she comes with self-love to you. She comes with a huge bunch of flowers for you, because she's also saying that all the information that you give is not necessarily seen as the worth it's given. Your volume and of knowledge and what you're doing is with love and support. And if people aren't willing to accept it, then that's down to them, Crystal. So she comes forward to say, love you. That's what the person you need to concentrate on. Send out love and light to the others. Let them go along their pathway. And when they're ready and come to your door asking for help, then you can give it willingly if you choose. Okay. So that's why she's come in, to give you guidance to look after you, rather than you taking the weight of the world on your shoulders and other people's business, and they're not listening to advice. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to leave that there with you. She wants me to give months: May, June, July, August. We want October. We want December through to January, birthday celebrations, anniversaries, and passing. So I hope you listen to this, Crystal, and I'm going to send you all the love in the world. But most importantly of all, in this life, dance to your tango, nobody else's. If they're not listening, leave them be. Let them deal with the consequences. Okay, thank you for working with me, and let's have a look for the next one. I I want to go with Millie Millie Mill. Oh, guys, you wouldn't believe the singing I'm hearing down from Richard here. You won't believe it, Millie Mill. And I'm being drawn to. It's your dog, actually. You got to say the dog in the picture is winning it here. I actually want to go to the dog of the reading. To be fair, so it could well be that I'm going to be looking at that dog. Hang on a minute. That dog is a ray of sunshine, very mischievous, lots of sense of humour with regards to that dog. Um, what I can't get away from this dog, so I'm going to find out who's going to come in at the moment. I'm being told that you worry unnecessary, and I feel as if that I'm just checking. Yeah. Um, what I'm being told, this pooch has been either been under the weather or not quite firing on full cylinders. And okay, I'm being told this dog plays you. It's like it can sense. You give so much love and unconditional attention to this dog that it absolutely knows the love. It's spoiled rotten and it plays on it. So that's what I've just been told to give you. So when he feels like he's looking like he's under the weather, I'm being told it actually isn't. So I've just had to give you that, and I'm just going to have a look to see who's given me this reading and who's come forward for you. Again, I want to go on your mother's side. I'm being shown a woman with lighter hair, and I also feel she had silky smooth skin. She had the kind of skin you'd die for. I spend a fortune in snail gel, I've got to say. Also, slim build. She smells nice. She looks nice. She takes care of her appearance. Appearance is everything. Yes, my dog with me. Yeah, brilliant. I'm glad you said that because you spoil this dog. You're wrapped around its little finger. I'll tell you that now. So this lady would have taken care of her appearance. She's my angel. She certainly is. She would have taken care of her appearance. She was somebody who, she's telling me, was creative, who was calm, who was caring. She's actually slowing me down, and she's making me speak with precision, and how she is. She's telling me, mind your P's and Q's, Wendy. Let's get it out. But she's laughing when she says this. She was very pretty, a natural beauty, even into her latter years. She's actually taken me to her 60s, where I feel she started faltering, is her word she's using. She started going by the wayside a little bit with regards to her general health and well-being. But still, she always looked after herself, even when she started feeling under the weather, even when she started feeling poorly. She's actually making me feel quite sick as well. Again, I'm being taken down to the lower abdomen, where I feel there was a swelling with regards to that area. And then she's telling me she had beautiful skin and she's smiley face, but she became, I want to say, a little bit bloated. And yes, she does. Brilliant. Thank you. Where in certain places, especially around the face, I feel as if her face, there was something that went with her going on at this part of her body. And she's starting to take me to the back. So I feel there was a series of things that were going on for her that basically caused her body to shut down. And that's what she's telling me. She said, considering I ate healthy, I looked after myself, and I really feel she did. But sometimes it's just the hand we're dealt. So I'm not getting past my 60s with her. She's adamant that it was in her 60s. And what she said, it was great loss when she went. She didn't want to go. She feels she went far too soon. But of course, now she knows it was her number's up. Her number's up. And what she's also saying, we all have an expiry date, and that was mine. She said, I had still so much that I wanted to do, but I never got to do it. Oh, my Nan, thank you so much for that, Millie, validating that for me. And the way she's talking and the slowness with it it's still, even now, I get a great sadness because there's so many things that she wants to be a part of, and the family really realised, perhaps not accepting that she's actually there every inch of the way, every celebration, every birthday. He had lovely skin. I think that meant she had lovely skin. Yeah. She's there with every celebration, every event. She's around all the time. She never leaves her family unit, and she just wants you to know, when you do get together with family, always say hello, Nan. I feel you sense her. I'm beginning to sense her more and more right now, because she's giving me the feeling of her stroking your hair. Normally when you're sleeping, your dog, and the reason why I was drawn to your dog is because, or your angel, I'm going to call your lovely pooch, your pooch sees your Nan. And what she's shown me is sometimes just staring, looking into space. And that's where she comes forward. Now, the reason why she's come forward here is I started getting a strong pain in my head, and I feel that's to do with you. Because she's giving me stress heads with you. She's also going down to this part of my neck and across my shoulders here. I'm also feeling it at the top of my spine with regards to these stress heads. And what she's telling me, you're a bit of another worrier and overthinker. But this headache, can you just validate this headache, please? Because it's quite intense, and I need you to her to take it away. And she's not going to take it away until you accept that headache. Because if it's not you, it's someone around you with regards to these headaches. Would you understand them, please? Because right now she's giving me pain here. I've noticed. Right. Oh, yes, I've noticed. Right. Brilliant. Because when you're stressing, it goes down here. You also clench your jaw. There's also, you're grinding your teeth when you're sleeping as well, she's given to me. Whether you're aware of it or not, whether you get this kind of aching feeling in the morning. But this part along here, there's like knots, and I want to give you a good massage. I actually feel I want to stretch you out, because where you're feeling this kind of pain here, you're slumping rather than standing tall, which in turn has a knock-on effect, and that's why it's going down my spine. So your posture is suffering because of these headaches. And where the nerve endings are going up here, it's like, it's really intense, and it's hanging over the top of my eyes here. She's also telling me you're not sleeping very well. So not only is this through stress and anxiety, she's telling me you're not sleeping very well as well. And you are the kind of person that holds everything within. So it comes out like a conversion disorder. Of course, they're not doctors, so if in doubt, you check it out. But what I've got is this kind of feeling from her that I want to put meditation music on for you when you sleep. I want a journal by the side of your bed to write down your thoughts, feelings, emotions, to offload, to help you to be able to relax. And I also want to say to you, when I was feeling how you're worried about your pooch, which is absolutely fabulous, there's nothing wrong with that little darling. What she's saying to me, you also do that about all and sundry, and that in turn affects you. Now, she's given the intensity of the headaches have started over the last, I want to say, 6 weeks. And again, this is through situations that have happened around you. And she's telling, yes, you're right. Thank you very much, Millie. She's telling me, rather than look at it from the outside looking in and mind mapping it and picking it apart, you're absorbing all this. You're overthinking. Thoughts are going round and round in your head. It's like a absolute merry-go-round. And you're not seeing the wood for the trees, and you're not seeing the answers to the dilemma that she's saying around this situation. I want to put changes in place. I do feel you need to look at changes, but I do feel there's a bit of resilience and where you're digging your heels in and not allowing change to happen. She said sometimes you've got to go with the changes for allow positive things to happen for you to find your inner peace. Would you understand this, please, Millie? She is not going into detail because we're on an open forum, but she is telling me that literally last 6 weeks, maybe, are we going anymore? No, she's telling me 6 weeks. Yes, absorbing energy, fabulous. So you need to change, but make sure you put that protection out from your crown chakra coming down, wrapping around you like a mummy, glass down over the top with mirrors facing out. What she's telling me, that the situation that's happened, there's a quite negative narcissistic energy around there that you are feeling. Anybody like that, send them love and light, walk away. Okay, so she comes in with abundance of love. Do the protection you need to do. You are empathic spiritual, you already know that. Yes, you're right, thank you very much, but make sure you look after yourself with regards to your headaches. Now, she has given me a bunch of daffodils, fabulous flowers, especially in springtime, to give to you. She also wants to give you February, March, and April. We want May and June. We're going over to July. She's gone to October, November, and December, and I'm back to January. Birthday celebrations, anniversaries, and passings, all from your beautiful grandmother who's coming for you tonight. Thank you so much for working with me. Thank you for validating everything I'm saying. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Oh, I can see me. Right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to just do some adverts here. Well, tomorrow there's a divine service with Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, fabulous church. Tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. UK time. You can also go onto youtube.com/spiritual psychic TV and tune in on there if you'd so like. They're lovely church, friendly family with Ray and his lovely wife. You have a well of a time with fantastic mediums. Tomorrow night there's a VIP party that Richard is not putting up, but I'm just going to ad lib as he whispering in my ear. Okay, he's filed it away under, do not lose. Right, brilliant. Also, now come closer, because I'm going to say something and it's a secret. Now, Matt and Kirsty, well, I'm sure you've seen numerous of times working on Spiritual Psychic TV. Kirsty is very poorly at this moment. And because of all the wonderful work they do with Matt and Kirsty, they support SPTV from the start. They offer free readings, workshops, and live readings to hundreds of people. And recently, both have not been a good place. And SPTV want to support them. So remember, do not let them know. If you can donate even as much as 50p, because these are working mediums that rely on obviously working on the circuit with the spiritual church, as we all do, to help us cope. And at the moment, they need that little bit of added support. They're very proud, so please, 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 please send healing if you can't give a donation, because of course times are hard, especially with our electricity and gas and everything else. I've got a generator going on. No, I haven't really, but there we go. Please send healing or a kind donation to get them through this difficult time, because believe me, every penny counts, especially when you feel in a bad place. And also you've got https://donations.spiritualpsychictv.online. So please, 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 if you can have a little dig deep, that would certainly put a smile on their face. But please, shh, mum's the word, okay? Right, this is a spiritual artist. I've got to say, that is fabulous. Helen, who's on tomorrow night. And the time that she will be on is 7:30. VIP artistry. Look at that. What an absolute amazing piece of art that is. So colour and buoyant. Brilliant. So tune into that at 7:30 tomorrow if you're about. All the details in the VIP lounge. All the details indeed. Right. So let's crack on. And remember, of course, like and share this page, because of all the wonderful mediums that you can get to see on here and get readings from, that give their time so freely for all you fabulous people. Right. Okay. Let's see where we're going next. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hello, Heidi Spicer. I like that. I'm not judgmental, not Master Belly at all. Oh, you're fabulous. I want to go to Anna Bangs. And ironically, hello, Jade, lovely to see you. Annie Bangs, I want to go with. And what I kept getting, with Spines, have got Spirit, have got a wonderful sense of humour. All I kept hearing was she bangs, she bangs. And that was even before the name come up. So, of course, when I see that, brilliant. Annie, are you in the house? So let's see who we've got coming in for you. Again, I'm taken over to the mother's side. I am taken to a grandmother energy. And what I feel, her face was quite long, I want to say, in shape, slim face she's given me. She's also given me short hair. I do feel there might have been a colouring involved here, because she's showing me like kind of light auburn colour around her 50s. And then she said I started growing old gracefully with her hair colour. She's taking me to 50s, 60s. Are we going to your 70s? Oh, we're not going to her 70s either. Not getting to her 70s. She's making me feel really, really sickly as well. She was also slim build. She showed me with trousers and a kind of a jumper that would have been around the top here, flat shoes as well. She also liked to take care of her appearance, I feel. She loved she's telling me she loved to look nice, she loved to smell nice, she loved people too. So I'm going to just double check that, because they say I love people, yeah, when I'm in the next room or something. She's saying, no, I actually did like people, which is always good. She's telling me that she was very a matter of fact in who she was. She had very strong principles. She liked honesty. She did not like deceit. Anybody that was deceitful or told lies, she would cut them dead. That's the word she said to me. She said, actually, it's one of my biggest regrets, because sometimes people can elaborate the truth, especially when they're going through a difficult time. She said hindsight is a wonderful thing, because at that time that's what I would do without finding the story from people. So I would say I was pretty evenly balanced, but I would be stubborn in my attitude sometimes. She loved her family unconditionally. I'm asking her, were you a loving nan? She's saying very much so. I'm asking her if she was critical. She said, no, I wasn't, because I believed in the family would get on their business. And if they needed me, they knew that I was there. Would you understand this with her, Annie? Um, no answer again. Oh, right. Okay. I've been told I have to move straight on if they're not answering. So if you could give me another name of someone who is actually on the chat, then we can go from there. Right. She in the thread. Right. Okay. Sorry, I am. Richie, I'm not just sitting here smiling and talking to myself. Just for those that have just come on. Right. Okay. I want to go to Sharon Black, please. If you can pop Sharon Black back on for me, please. Hello, Sharon. How are you this evening? Right. Sharon, if you're here, can you put a hi up for me? Can you put, now I know the internet can be dodgy, and I know people can get kicked off, and we got a 15-second delay from when they come up. So I need to know that you're here rather than me go spouting on and on and on if you're not in the house. So are you with us, Sharon? Yes. Right. While I'm waiting for someone to come back, I've been told to plug myself, so it's not my ego, honest. Right. My name's Wendy Jack. If you enjoy this evening, it's Wendy Jack. If it's not, it's Boris Johnson. Just be mindful. I do this. I'm clairvoyant psychic medium. I work all the time on church services, demonstrations, giving readings, and I do it all in an international basis as well. I'm actually the house medium of the Centre of the Open Heart in San Francisco, which is run by Barbara Dooley, and I do like my marathons on a Monday. I think the longest was 8 hours and 15 minutes and gave 43 readings. It was exhausting, but hey, I looked about 12 by the time I finished with the spiritual intervention. I'm author as well. I've got one book out, The Haunted Dolphin Hotel. I have another two in the making. One's a children's book, which is made in rhyme to help children overcome their fears and be a nicer person, really, which hopefully should be out this year. And I've got a poem book like the poem that you saw this evening, which is or heard this evening, called Kindness. I've got about 50 odd poems that will be coming out in another book through Amazon later this, well, very, very shortly, actually. I'm just on the case of doing that. And the poems are ones that I do for church services. So they're not offensive. They're about helping and enabling, encouraging people to be the best that they can be. And my page is Wendy Jack, clairvoyant psychic medium. If you ever want to have a little browse at my site, you're more than welcome. Okay, I'm just waiting to see if Richard is okay. Right, okay. Now Sharon isn't answered, so I spoke as quick as I can. If anyone's in the feed, say hi. Okay. All right, brilliant. I like that. I've got hi Sally. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking, hang on, I was windy last time I looked, but there we go. Right. Okay. I'm going to go with you, Terry Wool. Terry Wool, I'm going to go with you. Let's get a message out there. Um, Terry Wool, are you going to go back? Yeah. They say never work with animals, children, humans. Yeah. Anyway, Terry Hall, wonderful. Well, sorry, lovely to see you this evening. Right, okay, let's see where we're going on for you. Right, again, I'm going on the mother's side. Oh, I've got mother's side and father's side coming. Oh, let's mix the bag up. Actually, I want to say to you, Terry, that someone's either thought about doing or in the process of doing a family tree. Because as I'm speaking to you, not only have I got people coming on the father's side, I've got them on the mother's side, I've got a whole array of people coming in even as I'm speaking to you right now. So I'm going to find out which way we're going and who is going to speak up this evening. I'm going to your father's side, and I feel the shape of the lymph of your face is actually on your father's side. I've got a gentleman. Um, He's showing me, right, okay, I'm looking at a picture of him standing outside. He's wearing trousers, white shirt. He's got his head slightly bent. He's got white hair. And I would say he had a mediocre kind of belly. It was not a big one, but he's just showing himself as skinny legs and a bit more boulder up top. And he did have a head of hell. He wasn't follically challenged at all. And what he's given me this kind of feeling, he loved being outside. I've done my family tree. Thank you for that validation, Terry. Well, they're all here. They're all in the house here. Um, he's standing outside. He loves to be at one with nature. The sun is beating down. It's a lovely, glorious day, and he's got one leg bent slightly on the left-hand side as well. And his face looks quite tanned as well. So I feel he liked working outside. Loved his garden. Loved being out in that kind of space. And what he's given to me is he would be very creative, very good with his hands. He'd like to build things, like to make things. I do feel this is like a grandfather energy with regards to him. And he was someone who liked to put the world to rights. He could be opinionated when he wanted to be, but it was always in good banter. I'm asking if he would have been stubborn in any way. He said, no. Well, yeah, okay, I would have been. I could be this kind of person that would go into my thought processes, and I'm going to say that rather than be stubborn. And yes, sometimes it would be like treading on eggshells once I was in that space, because it was I would be lost in my thoughts. He said, but when I would come out, I would like, yes, face shape from dad's side, brilliant, fabulous, thank you very much for validating that. He said, but then once I'm out of that dark place, I would have this very dry sense of humor. You either got it or you didn't. Sounds like my granddad, but he didn't have any hair. Do you know what? This makes me laugh, because when he's showing me how he wants to be, not necessarily how he become, because he's literally showing me white head of hair, which shows, because then he's laughing at me. So I do feel this is about his sense of humor. He said, I had movie star looks. How can I give movie star looks with a bald head? So if you understand that with regards to his sense of humor. And now he's starting to polish it. Oh my goodness, with a gleam, but there we go. Right, now the reason why he's come in, I'm just asking for a little bit more validation. I want him to tell me a little bit more about you, Terry. He's telling me you're very practical and a bit of a perfectionist. You like everything just so. You're the kind of person that does things over and over again if you don't feel they're right. To the extent that when you were at school, if you wrote an essay, you would write it again if you felt it wasn't good enough, but then you would write the same thing, but just a little bit differently. You strive to be perfect. And he said, what you don't understand is you're perfect just the way you are. And when you do things over and over again, you get them right the first time, because you've got this sense of, he did have white hair, but only a few strands. Oh, bless you. He's saying you strive to do things and be perfectionist, but you have such an eye for detail. You get it right the first time around. And what he's saying to me, when we see this and see you continually doing things over and over and over again, he's saying to you, believe and trust in you. Do things once. That's all you need to do. Then walk away, then go back and tweak it again. He's actually telling me that sometimes you've missed out on occasions and situations being your strive to be for perfection. He said, well, our imperfections are what makes us perfect. But he's saying with you and your thought processes and how you do things, they are right the first time. Stop doing things over and over again. Go out on the spur of the moment. Now, what he's also telling me, you're a bit of a list writer. You write list upon list upon list upon list, just so you make sure everything's done, and you write a list for the sake of a list's sake. Now, he's telling me you are not the kind of person that would just literally go outside the door on the spur of the moment and go on a venture. You have to plan. Would you understand all this, what I'm saying, please, Terry? Because he's coming forward to say, I want you to basically open the doors of life and go out on a venture. Yes, practical and be perfectionist, correct, with essay work and redoing. Brilliant. Thank you for validating that, Terry. And he's saying to you, it frustrates him to the point. He wants to get these lists, go like that and say, right, come on, girl, let's go out. Don't plan, because that's another thing, planning. He said, we just want you to go out and about into life, go on an adventure, go left, right, left, right, left, right, and see where it takes you, rather than planning for all the occasions. Just one day do it. One day Just go by the seat of your pants, enjoy life, and see where it takes you. He said, even in a working environment, your direction, you know where you're going, you go straight ahead. You are a perfectionist, a leader by example. You know what you want and you go to get it. Of course, always with courtesy, love, and light to everybody around you. But what he's saying to you, sometimes in life, we just have to wing it for 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. And that's what he wants to give to you. Because I feel sometimes we just need to go with the flow of life, run around in the forest like a woodland nymph, twirl around under the sun, and be as absolutely carefree as we can be, correct with the lists. Yeah. And that's what he wants to give to you, Terry. He's just saying to you, please take a moment to step off the merry-go-round of life. Go, take yourself out into the unknown and see where you go. No, I don't do spur at the moment. I do like to plan. Well, he's saying get out of your comfort zone and see where you go, because believe me, you'll be on one good, amazing adventure. All right. I can feel the sort of OCD coming from here, Terry, at the thought of it, but he's saying, please trust, I'll be beside you, leading you, and you'll feel absolutely liberated. You'll feel absolutely carefree. Your shoulders will lift. You will feel amazing. So that's why he's come in today, Terry. He said, you always like it as a child. You was always prim and proper. You wouldn't get dirty. You like to be clean. Telling me to wing it. Love that. He is right. Brilliant. So he said, yeah, it was just so you had to be in control. And sometimes we need to be out of control and just enjoy it. I mean, goodness, I go to the New Forest with my guinea pig, my 2 cats, and my parrot, and live amongst the horses. Fabulous. Anyway, for 6 weeks, but there we go. Right. He wants me to give you. He wants me to give you a floppy hat, a big long flowing dress, bare feet for you, and he wants to say, go on, there's your oyster, get out there. And that's what he's saying. I think he's trying to say hippie days. That's what it looks like, where the carefree attitude was. Yes, OCD kicking at the thought. Brilliant, Terry. Yeah, because sometimes when we do that kind of thing, it's very liberating. He wants me to give you the months of May, June, and July. He wants me to give you August, September. We're going to October, November. I want to go back to January, birthday celebrations, anniversary, and birthday passings. Lovely advice from my granddad, Wendy. Thank you. You're more than welcome, Terry. Do you know what? They see how we live our life. They see that we're in the rat race. And if anything, they learn from spirit. They would behave like that when they were on the earth plane. But once they go through those pearly gates and look down, they see how they live their life. And that's one of the reasons where my readings are very much about helping you on your life's pathway to get you where you need to be for a little bit of a better quality of life. Okay, so thank you so much for working with me, Terry. And guys, I've now come to the end. Richard has pulled the cord and said that is it, over and out. All I can say is, again, I hope you enjoyed this evening. I hope you enjoyed the time you spent with me. Hopefully they'll have me back. You never know. And what I want to say, it's been a pleasure. And sorry about the times when I couldn't thing where people had gone off. Sometimes it happens when the internet crashes. But remember, come on this page, like and share Psychic TV. You've got fab spiritual Psychic TV, superb mediums coming on every night to give you readings and encouragement. And don't forget the Zoom show tonight from 9:30 with Spiritual Psychic TV. Don't forget the Artist tomorrow at 7:30 with Helen. Don't forget Wimbledon Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Good night. You're more than welcome, Terry. Good night. See you soon. Bye-bye.